Hey, thanks to our sponsors at Overdogs.bet, the only place on the planet with exotic MMA prop bets. Sign up now for beta and free play. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, because the King of Violence told you to do so. Show some love to the Overdogs Podcast, baby.
I was informed you and Belal are going back and forth.
I'm not going back and forth. I have a tough dude that I'm going to fight. I'm going to be honest with you. I gave an interview, I think it was last week. I was trying to say I don't like the guy.
I want to hear your take on JDM.
In reality, I've been fighting top dogs in this division for 4 or 5 years, fighting who is who in this division. So there's going to be a test for both of us. You know, if I still get it, if you still want to fight for the shot, fight for the title, and I still want to fight for the title. Like I said, I think I'm one of the best in the division, and it should be a great fight against Jack della Maddalena.
I was reading some stuff on you and found out that you ended a 20-fight win streak.
If you remove yourself, you're not in the welterweight division. Who is the biggest threat, in your opinion, to Leon Edwards?
Me and Mac are going to run it tonight with Gilbert Burns, Durinho, my dog, man. 2nd degree black belt, UFC title challenger, and maybe future world champion. I like Gilbert, man. I think he's tough. He gave Hamzat a heck of a fight. They put on a good show. What's up, Mac? How was Mexico?
It was dope, bro. I mean, it was dope. It's very similar, believe it or not, to New Mexico. But it was chill, bro. I mean, I had a great time. Wish you would have been down there. Kicked it with your photographer, Danny. Shout out to that dude. He fucking killed it. He was working the Karate Combat show. Me and him worked together all week.
Mosaic is a Picasso, if you will.
Oh, with future photography? Hell
yeah. Future legend, portraits, pictures, whatever, you know. That made me think. Shout out to Big Rob on IG who made this painting for you, boy, here. At the last fight, I got it. But, yeah, man, love Danny Mosaic. He's really made me look a lot cooler in recent times, in the past couple years. You know, we've been working together, and he's been blowing up a lot, working with everyone. UFC, KC, Bare Knuckle MMA this Saturday at the Kia Center, Amway Arena in Orlando, Florida. You ain't going to make it to that one, so I wasn't going to Mexico, brother. My wife won't let me go.
There's been statements made on this podcast. I don't blame her. Everyone watching this knows me and Mike are fans of the Latinas. You know, I also watched the UFC card. We were going to go to Mexico, to UFC Mexico, to the actual event. We kind of opted out. The Karate Combat card took so much time, but ended up watching it there in that room with bags. We kind of had a party there at a steakhouse, and we watched it with your boxing coach. So I want to get into something real quick. You obviously probably watched the card, Moreno versus Royval, right?
Yes, I did.
Okay,
There's
me and
only
your coach.
one fight worth talking about.
Yeah, okay. Me and your coach had that clearly scored at least, if not 4-1, for Brandon Moreno. And I was called, all
a decision like that, when you've given Moreno, the UFC does this all the time. You're going to start another rant here.
Let's go. Let's do it.
A decision like that, you know, what they did was they punished Moreno for the way that he fought. He didn't fight like the old Moreno that we know, who's a dog, gets in there and just fucking winging it and had these crazy battles. But his idea that he could poke and move, take his time with the 5 rounds, stay at distance, try to capitalize on positioning at certain times. He still let Royval stay in the fight. And when you give up, when you go to a decision like that, it is a toss-up. If you can say that it could go either way, then it can go either way. Mm-hmm. I don't see the argument here. They give it to the guy who
He was active.
Did they save money by not giving Moreno the win? Did they are they gonna does it matter? Moreno doesn't get the next title shot now, so now Royval is going to bring his fan base to watch him possibly fight for the title, or they tell Royval, well, if Moreno won, maybe he would have got a title shot. But since you won, but not in the craziest fashion, we want to see you fight someone else before you get this title shot. You know, that's the politics of the game, and if that's, you know, what they... Who cares? Like I said, there was only one fight worth talking about, and it was fucking Yair Rodriguez versus Brian Ortega, T-City. That is the only
before we
fight
go to that one, this tails into what we just posted a clip about. Your rant about picking and choosing certain fighters, the UFC, how they do that. Is that one of those cases right there, in your opinion?
That's a tough one because they love Moreno. Mm-hmm. They've done lots of things for him, for UFC Mexico, PI Mexico, the event. They even let the crowd fight. They get an extra fight. Yeah. They get an extra brawl. It's
hockey rules over there, bro. It's hockey rules. The refs back up until someone hits the ground, bro.
The security said, I'm not getting involved in that shit. And I don't blame them. Bunch of people drinking all night in another country, watching fights, and they're like, at the end of the night, they're like, hey, what's that shit you was saying?
Vamos chingazos, bro.
Vamos.
So your opinion would be, yeah, you're accessing a new fan base by taking, you know, kind of being happy with Royval winning that if you're the UFC.
They were totally fine with it. That's why they gave it to him. Maybe they look at the numbers. There's politics involved. They look at the numbers during the fight. They have the technology for that. They're looking at it. They got smart people behind the desk, and they did the blueprints. They did the math while the fight was happening, and they chirp sent it up the ladder, and people were like, okay, we're going with on this close ass, boring ass main event fight. You know, Moreno didn't look hungry, so they took it from him, and that's his fault. He took it from himself. He could have done more. He should have done more.
Yeah. I mean, the reasoning me and your boxing coach, JT, shout out to that guy. He's cool as hell, bro. The reasoning we had, and Bags was watching too, like, this was a crystal clear TV, like huge, bro. Projected right in front of us. We saw everything. Like, better than you would being there. Not Paul Felder. Like, Paul Felder, I talked to him leaving the airport. He said it wasn't crazy to think that. He said, but being there, it looked like just Royval was doing all the work. But when you look at the stats real quick, Mike, the numbers are weird. So you have 112 significant strikes to 145 significant strikes for Royval. Significant strikes landed, though, was 53% for Moreno and 28 for Royval. I mean,
right.
He was,
Royval,
all those were
like
blocked.
200 extra strikes. I remember seeing that. I remember what you're talking about. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, my God. 48% of 300 strikes as compared to 27% of 500 or 600 strikes. You know, I did see Royval setting shit up, throwing it from the out, like just throwing it at nothing, just faking it. There was combinations that were faked. It kind of looked like CM Punk out there throwing those kicks. They said something. I saw a meme about, at least somebody landed one kick or something, because CM Punk always throwing like a fake kick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I seen that.
He never wanted to kick anybody. He was like, that shit gonna hurt.
Yeah, dude, that's a weird one, man. I was just surprised.
Screw that.
Yeah. Let's go to the
amazing fight. Brian Ortega. I just hit him up. I just had to tell him, hey,
let's get it.
Fucking awesome job. Incredible. You inspired me. You went out there and it became fight or flight. That was what it was. It was fight or flight. And he chose to fight. And he could. Yair is one of the greatest, most incredible strikers I've ever seen in combat sports. He can do it all. And Ortega was like, fuck it. I got to walk through him, get a hold of him, and put a beating on him. And that's exactly what he did. And Yair must be able to scramble. He must be able to grapple. I know he had trained a lot with Cowboy Cerrone in his time. if he's not still or what. Like, who's he training with? Was he not doing any grappling? You're about to fight T-City.
I'm pretty sure he went back to
He
train
punched
full-time
him
Mexico.
so bad in the first round, punched and kicked. And Ortega was like, screw it, dude. I got to do it. And before the fight started, Ortega breaks his ankle. Jumping up and down.
It happened like 3 times, bro. 3 times that night. People rolled their ankle against the cage. That first fight, remember? Dude comes out, throws a spinning heel kick. It lands, but he's okay. But he stumbles back and twists his ankle, blew his MCL. That's what Felder told me when I saw him at the airport. He said, no, he literally blew his MCL up against the cage. And then you had Marino trip over the cage in the first round and look like he stumbled. And then, yes, like you said, the funniest one, Brian getting announced and rolls his fucking ankle, looks back at his team like, oh, fuck, boys.
But he won,
dude, what
though.
the fuck?
He won,
What a dog.
He took all those nerves, and those nerves were kicking his ass. He was.
Bro, my ex-girlfriend's in the crowd. I'm refusing to lose, too. I don't give a fuck, bro. You know? That's not even a diss. Like, straight up, bro.
Yeah,
he went through a bunch of shit.
Use all
man.
the motivation you want, brother.
Yeah.
That's how it is before a fight. You're like, fuck it, I'll take any energy I can get.
It was funny, dude. In that room we were watching with, everyone had Yair. And I could see that 100%. But I was like, I find it far more likely. Like, it's far more probable that Brian can get a hold of him and strangle him than it is Yair knocking him out, because he's only been knocked out once, and it wasn't even a knockout. It was quit on the stool. His coaches said no more after the 4th round of Max Holloway.
Dude,
and that's the one where he picked his hands up and showed him how to block. He's like, I won't hit this if you block. That's the only TKO he's ever had. And he almost got out. I was like, oh, I'm wrong right there. Okay. When he was getting smoked in the first round, came out, got a hold of him, cinched it up.
Dude, I'm just really proud of that guy for what he did, regardless. And then he got on the mic and he was very godly. He's big on Jesus. And in my opinion, you definitely can't hate on that.
Nope.
You say whatever you want, but it's like, man, if God has got him through that, and he talked about it, and he like saying before the fight, oh man, I rolled my ankle, and then I'm talking to God like, oh man, come on, man, what does this mean? You know, he's trying to figure out before things happen, and he just chose to put his foot down, and that was very Mike Perry, in my opinion, bro.
Agreed.
Even better,
We should get
that
him
was
on here.
Brian T. City. That's what it was, man. That guy's still in the league.
You should reach out to him, see if he ever wants to hop on here. He doesn't do a lot of that stuff. Like,
No, for sure. We'll see about that. But you know, we have some incredible guests all the time, and we have
100%.
one tonight that will be coming on here shortly. And I don't know. There's lots of things happening in the fight game. You know,
What do you want to talk about before we got 9 minutes before he hops
I
on
just
here.
had one, dude, but CTE is a motherfucker, and like my brain goes through subjects really quickly, and then I'm like, I talk with myself, and I'm like, oh, we should talk about that. Oh, but what about? And then 3 down the line, I'm like, damn, I forgot what I wanted to talk about.
It's me, dude. That could be what's called ADHD.
Yeah, because you don't
have
get
to
punched
be-
in the head, right?
It probably doesn't help. But yeah, it could be ADHD. You have ADHD, bro, just like me.
Oh man,
Well,
I should
there's
be
like
fighting
a bunch
again
of shit
soon.
to talk about. Yeah.
yeah.
Anything you can tell us about that?
I think you're the perfect like fight fan to ask, Mac. Like, who would be the ideal opponent for me?
Well, I mean, we've talked about this, but like,
We have.
obviously Jake Paul. But I don't think it's going
You're
to be
right,
that
man.
because
Jake,
he ain't doing that. Go ahead.
there's millions of guys like Mac. Like Mac here that would agree. What are you doing? You're arguing with some kid from India. He came over. You're arguing with this kid before you fight. The kid was small. He was aggressive. He slapped you in your head, but your head didn't move though, and his little hand slapped you. It looked like, bro, what are we doing here, man?
He's
he
fighting
wants
like
more
next week, isn't he?
experience First, he wants more experience first.
Yep. So you think he will? He'll eventually. You think you're on his radar?
Not after what happens next in bare knuckle.
I wouldn't. Yeah, wouldn't be
I
surprised.
mean, unless he's trying to prove himself, but not after what I do to the next guy, bro. They're going to be like, oh, maybe they'll say yes because he's not going to do it bare knuckle. He'll do it with the gloves on. I was talking to my wife. I was like, yo, we need to get you versus another fight wife.
Fight
get
wife
the
fight.
pay-per-view going. And have Latori. I had her on the mitts tonight in the gym. I was telling JT, Coach JT, Nergis, your wife, they need to spar, but it's just different mindset for women like that. They're like, oh, that's my sister. Like, I couldn't do it. I'd be like, that's my brother. I'm going to fucking try to hurt him.
Yeah, not everyone's like Mike Perry, bro. You're playing with fire, having like your boxing coach fight your wife.
No, not my boxing coach. My boxing coach's wife.
I know.
Like my
That's the
wife.
same shit, though. You're like, hey, bro, it'd be a fucking dope. Our wives should fight. It'd be
No,
dope.
we
Like,
would laugh. We would laugh about it.
I'd
I
laugh
think
with you guys.
Latori would
It's just
win.
playing with fire.
Listen, I'm instigating it right now. They see
I
me.
know.
I think Latori will win. So I hope that pisses Nergis off, and then they can fight about it. I want to see some training. I want to see some fighting. Y'all watch me do it all the time. Time for y'all to get y'all ass in there and throw some heat. Latori has good technique, so
Well, Latinas, bro, they can fucking throw down.
that's who.
Peep this, bro. Instead of Ultimate Fighter, the Ultimate Wife. Fighters coach their wives to fight the other wives, bro. That's reality, bro. Reality
Yeah.
show right there.
That's incredible. I would love that. So, but that made me think.
Yeah.
I was reading the note, and Gilbert was a coach on The Ultimate Fighter. He was coaching guys. Do you remember seeing him?
The ultimate, yeah, he's been the Ultimate Fighter though. I get so scrambled because I watch it all, but I forget. Let me look.
There's been so many seasons. Man.
Yeah, bro. And
Rampage
so many of them
is one of the best ever.
10's the best one ever.
He's
Kimbo.
still who?
Kimbo. That was the Kimbo episode. That was the Kimbo season.
Of
And Brendan
course.
Schaub, Roy
I mean, that
Nelson.
was-
Yeah.
But there's incredible guys on other seasons.
Yes, McGregor,
Nate
Uriah
Diaz,
was great.
Tony Ferguson. McGregor was a coach. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't on that
Volk-
bitch. He's a coach. Oh, there's a little snake in the grass. There he is.
Dude, that one was.
Oh, there's a little snake in the grass.
He used to
Fuck
be so
yeah,
funny,
bro.
bro.
We need to get that sponsor, man, since we be drinking on here.
Right? I'm doing Michelob today. What about you?
I need to try some of that Irish stout, man.
Oh,
I'm
bro,
on the
Guinness is
Topo
good.
Chico.
Topo Chico.
What you
Let's
know
go.
about that, boy?
I don't know. I like all the fucking. Do you know what the best beer is? Not Tecate is good, but Dos Equis, bro. Dos Equis, instead of a lime, you put a lemon in it. Fighter beer.
2012, Burns was chosen by UFC fighter Vitor Belfort to be the head grappling coach for Team Vitor the first season of the Ultimate Fighter Brazil.
So he was, yeah. Just he wasn't like the UFC's main coach.
But you know what, man? I don't see Burns use his jiu-jitsu a lot in fights.
At all. It's anti-jiu-jitsu. He uses it to get up and swing
just,
bombs.
like, throwing heat with his hands and fists, and he doesn't do any jiu-jitsu.
No, not
He's
at all.
a second-degree black belt, and he doesn't do any jiu-jitsu.
Like, when was the last time he did sub somebody? Let me look. He'll do it, but he hurts you on the feet to do it. He doesn't take you down and hold you down.
Man, I'm glad we fired that other guy, man. What y'all think? Y'all miss ice bags? No, I miss.
We rugged him. We pulled the rug on him, bro.
I bet his story of New Mexico is way different than yours.
Yeah, probably. Everyone's is, apparently, dude. I said New Mexico has hot Latinas, and
You
your
didn't get
coach-
drugged and forget everything? You didn't get roofied this time?
No, not this time, actually. I had a great time this time. Bags tried. He
Mac
gave me a
has
couple
been
drinks.
roofied and taken advantage of in past events.
And Mike did nothing to fucking help me, bro. He was laughing the whole time. He said, "This is good content." I'm just kidding. Okay, so dude, peep this. He's got in the UFC 1, 2, 3, 4. That's it. He only has 4 submissions in the UFC.
Look, there's a lot of guys who don't have any.
Yeah, but he's got true. But he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 20. About 24. About 24 fights, and he has more knockouts. So, I mean, you're right. statistically, you're right. What do you think that is?
He's not doing his jiu-jitsu. That's crazy because I know he's really good at it, but I just thought of something else too that happened over the weekend. It was right before. They stuffed a lot of stuff into the weekend, and there was the PFL versus Bellator card. Yoel had a good, clean scrap. I saw some comments about people like, oh, two friends didn't want to hurt each other.
Yoel he's a counter striker. Yeah, keep going.
I mean, he's clean. Yoel, in his age, to be big and strong and move like that, the way that he moves at that size, he's a big ball of muscle, and he's just hard to get a hold of, man. You can't get your fingers on him. We know Thiago Santos is no joke. We've seen him give John Jones one of his best battles ever with torn ACLs. And then there was was it the co-main? I don't know, but
the main where Bader got knocked out by Ferreira.
Oh, that was the main event. Yeah, that was quick.
Bellator won all of them besides one, which was the main event. So Bellator beat PFL's champions like 6-1. The only one was Bader who lost.
Yeah, Bader, man, what the hell were you think that? Like, it was over so quick. That big guy came out and just smashed them.
It looked when he fought Rumble.
The other one, the guy from ATT who won, he won the decision. It was a very close decision.
Oh,
Evelyn. I get why he won. He had a couple takedowns. He had some control time, working on the ground. That's MMA. But
what, Eblin? Johnny Eblin?
What the other dude? Yes, Eblin was fighting. Yeah. His name is hard to say. He fought Hakeem Buckley in the UFC, and then he went up to 205 and wins the light heavyweight title in PFL, and he was giving Buddy the hands. But then he just got controlled, got tired, and got taken down by the ATT guy who grinded it out. Whose girlfriend said that she was going to leave him if he didn't win.
Did you see how all this started? So I'm not trying to talk shit, but I want to get your take on this. So like a week before the fights, right, they had this video come out where Eblin's walking with that girl, the OnlyFans busty chick, and they come up like they're paparazzi, like, oh my God, it's, Johnny Eblin.
Everybody welcome Gilbert Burns, Durinho. What's up, brother?
Guy. What's up, bro? How you guys doing?
Man, looking great over there, like a chiseled statue. Gonna be put up world champion. Let's go, man.
Amen. Soon.
How are you, brother?
I'm good, brother. Just almost ready. Almost war. Almost time to war. So looking forward to. I'm excited.
Yes, we know that you're very busy with training and everything, media, all the stuff you have to do. So we appreciate your time. This is my boy Mac Malley. I don't know if you've ever met him before.
No.
What's up, Mac? No, first time.
Yeah.
I'm loving the hair, brother. I'm loving the.
Yeah.
Are you gonna get the braids again for the fight?
For sure. I'm gonna get the braids for the fight. It's gonna be looking
you're
sharp.
Gonna look like Allen Iverson in there, shaking them up with the punches. And we were just talking about how great your jiu-jitsu is. I know it's great because you're a second-degree black belt, if not 3 now. Third degree, maybe? 4. Look at them 2 behind. Oh, my God. That's incredible. But you don't even be using your jiu-jitsu that much?
It's always there. I always train. I love to train jiu-jitsu. That's one of my favorite things that I like to do is train jiu-jitsu. But I like to knock people out too, and I like to make exciting fights. Sometimes I take these guys down, they hold for life. They don't want to get submitted, so the fight doesn't get as entertaining as I like to deliver. So sometimes I say, you know what, let's bang a little bit, Even my coach get crazy because, man, just take this guy down. But I just like to kind of get hit a little bit, get into a fight, and I appreciate my fans, they go out there and support. I don't want to make a freaking boring fight, If submission is right there, I'm going to looking forward to, but sometimes I know it's going to be hard to get a submission and I want to make an entertaining fight sometimes, most of the times.
No, your fights are very exciting. Real quick, do you still train with Sanford MMA in South Florida?
Yes.
Yes, with
I
Coach
still
Henry
here.
Hooft?
Yes, we just changed the name. It's not Sanford MMA anymore because Sanford used to be the main sponsor. Used to be a hospital that used to pay for everything, and they changed the CEO. The CEO don't want to do nothing that the old CEO was doing, and then we kind of sell the name. We get a big sponsor called Kill Cliff. So now it's a Kill Cliff Fight Camp, so Fight Club. So it's Kill Cliff FC, but still the same guys, same coaches, everybody.
Yeah.
I love it, man. I mean, Henry Hooft is everywhere. I think.
Yeah.
I feel like I saw him at PFL and
Yes.
UFC Mexico. I don't even know, man. I feel like he was at both.
He's everywhere. A lot of
top
guys
coaches
here
in the game for sure. He's got a lot of fighters winning fights everywhere. Shout out to Jackson, Jason Jackson.
Jason Jackson,
Just
beast.
won. He won that PFL.
Oh,
you guys
dude.
have been training together for a while.
Yeah, he's my guy. He's a beast. Yeah.
He took out Ray Cooper like no problem.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good to be over here on the West Coast, in Florida. You know, Central Florida, South Florida. We got a good group of soldiers out here that put on battles and
100%.
entertaining fights for the world to see. Man, I'm excited to watch Gilbert's next one. Definitely.
Let's go into this. So real quick, dude. I haven't scrolled Twitter much today, but I was informed you and Belal are going back and forth, and that would have been today apparently. Tell us about it, bro. Anything?
I'm not going back and forth. I have a tough dude that I'm going to fight. You know, I'm not even looking to Belal Muhammad. But I'm going to be honest with you. I gave an interview, I think it was last week. And then I said a little bit more than what I was trying to say. The guy made me a question. And then he said, do you think he deserves a title shot? And as I was saying, I was trying to say I don't like the guy, but he does deserve. And I end up saying he don't deserve. He does deserve. I just don't like the guy, but yeah, he deserves.
Interesting.
No. If you don't like him,
I don't like him.
he don't deserve,
I don't like him.
and you deserve. So
You know what I mean? Look, but here's the fact. Here's what happened. My last fight, he beat me because I got injury. He beat me, no excuse. But I injured my shoulder in the beginning, and then he was rewarded with a title shot. The way that I say he don't deserve, he does deserve. He beat me. At the end of the day, he won the fight, right? But I just feel that he didn't really beat me. That's the thing. That's what's still right here, you know. But for the numbers, if you look at his record, he beat me. So he should fight for the title, I believe so. But we got to see each other again.
just so you
and
can
then
run it back for the gold.
100%. And I don't even look at Twitter anymore. I'm focused on this guy, you know. I'm fighting a tough dude, a boxer. The guy hits hard, came all the way from Australia. He's undefeated in the UFC. The guy's getting a crazy streak win. So that's what I'm looking forward to. I'm not. They asking me about this guy, and then I said it, but it's just I don't care. Give this guy a title shot.
Yeah,
I get you.
fuck
I
it,
get what
because
you mean.
this is your path to the title. I mean, this
Yeah.
boxer fighter that you're gonna fight. You know, I'm rooting for you big time, Gilbert. I think
guy.
you've been on the path for a long time, doing the right things, training with all the right people, and very humble. I mean, look how you say, you know, you're like, hey, let Belal have his shot, and then I want to come take it from him. I mean, it's very honorable.
Yeah, and the guy beat me at the end of the day for sure. I still like, you know, when you don't, I didn't swallow that because I was hurt. But it is what it is. At the end of the day, he beat me. He got a crazy win streak. Guy deserves fight for the title, and it is what it is. I still don't like the guy, but it's his turn, you know.
Why?
It is what it is. Because you know why I don't like him. Now I'm gonna be honest with you, Mike. You're my guy. So because I lost to the guy. He know, bro. You can see if you watch the fight. You can see from the first takedown attempt, I hurt my shoulder, couldn't throw anything, and I make through those 5 rounds with one shoulder. And right after the fight, the guy start, hey, the way I beat Gilbert Burns, this guy like, bro, you barely beat me with the one shoulder. Don't keep saying like, man, I did this with that guy. Bro, he didn't do nothing. Like, come on.
Let him have his pride and glory.
That's
man,
it.
For that,
I will.
Because next time Durinho gets in the ring with anyone, I know what time it is, man. I'm a 100%. Big fan.
Well, so 100%. I got a question for both of you about that. So you know how the MMA community, because I'm just one of the people from the MMA community. I see it all the time, and kind of what Gilbert's talking about. When you do come out, you're giving him props. You're saying, no, he beat me. 100% he beat me, but he didn't beat me at my best because you tore your shoulder. We remember that. You weren't throwing it at all. What do you say? What would be your response? What do you think about the fans that comment and say, like, you're giving an excuse now when you just validated his win? You said he did beat me, but I was injured. Why do fans hate that and say it's an excuse now?
I don't care what they think, Like, I'm very relaxed with the way I think, I think he did beat me, and but I wasn't at my best at that moment because he did a good job defending the takedown, and I landed on my shoulder. She happens on the fight, It's like Yair Rodriguez being super. Oh, I beat Brian Ortega on the first fight, bro. That first fight, the guy dislocated the shoulder. It happens. Mm-hmm. Then they fought again. So it is what it is. Fans, they can say they will do whatever they want. I'm here to make a good fight, to be entertainment. And I'm going to see this guy again, and we're going to settle the score,
All right, man.
That
Brian Ortega fight was entertaining, wasn't it? Him versus Yair.
Crazy.
I mean,
Crazy
he
fight.
took that shit in the first and chose to get a hold of him and beat on him. It was very inspiring, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, but the first one, they meet at the first time. That's the second fight.
Okay.
The second fight, right on the beginning, Brian Ortega dislocated the shoulder. He couldn't keep fighting,
Yep.
He almost broke his ankle in this one.
Oh, my God. Saw that.
Don't be jumping up and down in the corner, man.
No way. You know who did that too? Last fight was Kevin Lee. He jumped. And then he popped his knee, bro. ACL. He's still fighting. He lost, get knocked out. But that first jump, he popped his knee out.
Yeah.
So don't jump. Don't jump.
Don't jump.
Wouldn't be me, man. First you gotta go get the UFC title, and then
100%.
you can make your way over to Bare Knuckle FC, and because I know you like to brawl.
I like it. I do
like
like
that,
Bare.
sir.
I do like Bare Knuckle. Every time that they have a show here that I'm not preparing to a fight, I like to go, and I have so much fun watching. I like watching you. I like to watch. Bro, that fight you and Luke, was crazy, bro. I was just like, oh my God. Your fight with Eddie. I like Palomino too. I like all of they don't make the Cuban guy I like too. The Cuban assassin, I don't think he's a Bare Knuckle anymore. That guy was a beast. Bro, I watched the show. I like it.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you're right about that. He went to another bare knuckle organization.
Yeah, this guy is a beast too, bro.
Yeah, no, he is. He's been smashing people for sure, man. But so I was reading some stuff on you and found out that you ended a 20-fight win streak. You fought someone who was, 20-0 or...
Oh, yeah.
You fought someone, they were 20-0?
The day that you fought Luke, at that night.
Oh, what?
So, that Russian dude that I fought
you were on that card, or that was...
Yeah, I was on that card. So
in Uruguay, we fought on the same card.
In Uruguay. Yeah, I was going anyways.
Zinchenko.
Yeah, this guy. I was going anyways to corner Luke, but then 2 weeks before, they called me. I think Pitbull, Thiago Alves pulled out. And they say, hey, we have a place for you to fight this Russian. I was just coming up to 170. I don't want to make 55 anymore. I was killing myself.
Yeah.
And I told the UFC, the next fight is going to be 170. And then that was the dude, Alexei Kunchenko. And they call like, hey, we got a fight for you. 2 weeks notice, you won 170. This dude is 20-0. And then I look at like, okay, shit, I'll fight this guy. But he was... the way I see it seems like he was juiced up in Russia. You know, he was the monster. But then when he came back to the UFC with the USADA and everything, he didn't look that big monster anymore, you know. So when I look at his fight, I say, yeah, I like that fight.
You beat him, and then he lost. He went 4-1.
Yeah,
after
and then
that.
he started losing.
Or no, 1-4. Yeah. He only beat Gleason Tebow.
Well, it's because Gilbert dismantled him first. You know? I went to Russia, man. Those Russians, I don't know if it's their kind of steroids over there or if it's just how they're raised. Might have a little bit to do with how they're raised, but those Russians, I mean, I came out unscathed. I didn't have to fight. But we tried to make one, but this just is kind of sketchy doing business over there.
Yeah.
You know, so at least you guys have the big dogs doing business for you, you know, Dana White.
Yeah.
You were already in the UFC when the Fertittas still owned it, right?
Yes. I was there. I met the Fertittas a couple times. I was cornering Vitor. That's my first time that I went to UFC. I was cornering Vitor Belfort.
Oh.
I met Vitor. That's when I started training MMA. And then he was very close with Lorenzo. I went to train with Lorenzo a couple times. We stayed at the Red Rock Casino a couple times. Vitor have a good relationship with Lorenzo before they sell the UFC.
Yeah,
I met Lorenzo a couple times. Yeah.
And Vitor invited you to be a coach, a jiu-jitsu coach, or just a coach on The Ultimate Fighter?
Yeah, I was a coach, jiu-jitsu coach in The Ultimate Fighter, but I was already training Vitor. So that was way back 2011. I won the worlds in jiu-jitsu. I became a world champion, and then I want to make that transition to MMA. And then at Ruka, RVCA there in LA, I was there. They were my sponsor. So I met Vitor over there. We start training. And then hey, you want to start training me, help me with my MMA fights, and I can help you on your transition. Done deal. Next week, after I became a world champion, I was in Vegas, start training MMA. And then I was cornering Vitor's, I cornered Vitor maybe 8 fights. When he was in the row, when he was a TRT Vitor, he beat right after he fought Anderson, he fought Yoshihiro Akiyama. That guy is still on ONE FC. Then he fought Anthony Johnson. Then he fought Michael Bisping, Luke Rockhold. He fought Dan Henderson. He fought Chris Weidman. I was all on his corners on his fights. Oh
my God, dude!
That explains Gilbert's stand-up style, man. Right there, working with Vitor, he throws like Vitor, bro.
That is what we grew up watching in UFC and Pride, and these guys come together and they make the biggest fights, and every fight was a celebrity. Both guys were celebrities. We watched all of them fight, and then they had to fight each other. And I just feel like the UFC, you know, I'm not gonna do that to you, cause you one of their prizes for sure, man. I mean, they make the big fights, they do, but I feel like there's a lot of new people that get to come in and get to try out these fights and you know, figure things out. But man, there's something about the old days with the UFC. Even the very beginning, and then when they had the guys go back and forth out of Pride and stuff. But I know you fight your lineup. If you look at Tapology and you look at all the people you fought definitely the who's and the names that we know. Sure. And
literally pretty much all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean,
real quick. Here's a funny stat. Joe Rogan and Vitor Belfort made their debut in the UFC on the same night. Joe Rogan on commentary back when he had hair, and Vitor was 18 and bum rushed that dude, knocked him out in 8 seconds.
That was the same 19.
That dude,
maybe.
That dude was Vanderlei, the axe murderer. Yeah. Okay.
Did I forget that's who it was against?
Double-sided back then, bro. The fights were insane. I mean,
yeah, crazy fights back in the days.
Gilbert, you put a beating on Damian.
Oh,
yeah,
bad.
In Brazil, yeah.
The ground and pound in the end of it, when you drop down and just went, wow. I mean, just like a speed bag. It was incredible. I know that's hard because you guys are both fighting for the same country.
Yeah.
You're
I'm
a
a fan,
Brazilian American now.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here in Florida fighting with us.
Amen.
I'm happy to be around you guys. I gotta get some training in with you someday. We gotta get some fighting, some boxing. I gotta come down to. It's not Sanford
gotta come,
anymore.
bro.
Killcliff.
If you don't come, we go. We gotta give you some more rounds.
I want to try to punch Luque again.
You have to come, yeah.
I'm
you
trying
gotta come
to
to train
his
you though.
nose a little bit or something. He got me good, didn't he? Fuck
That was a good fight, bro. That was a crazy fight.
No, it was good. That's what it's about, man. You know, the journey, the honor, the respect. I believe in those things. I love. Have you been watching Avatar, The Last Airbender on
I want to watch that.
Netflix?
Not yet. I gotta watch
Oh,
that.
dude,
Not yet.
I was binging that last night. I'm loving that.
Is it
show
good?
right now.
It's good?
I love that shit, dude. I'm a nerd.
See, I know, but remember we talked about this? Like, I've never watched any anime besides, like, if you count Pokemon back in the day and, like, Airbender. So I definitely want to check that one out. Why do so many MMA fighters like anime? Legit question for both of you.
I don't know. I don't like that much.
Anime
you gotta answer that.
every young man's dream. You don't watch any anime, bro? You don't watch One Piece, Dragon Ball Z. You ain't.
No, remember we've talked about this.
Back in the days, I used to watch Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, you too grown for that now, bro. No, I know you got the boys. What kind of cartoons you try to put your boys on?
The boys who watch all the cartoons. I play video games with the boys. You know, I play video game with the boys.
What's your
What
game?
game do you play? Call of Duty?
We do Call of Duty, not much. I do Call of Duty, but we do more Fortnite because I play with the kids. So we do Fortnite a lot with the kids. Yeah.
Nice.
Fortnite. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great, man. I'm trying to see. Mac. Ask him that thing you was trying to ask him, bro. While I try to find this information.
I got a couple. I got a cool story, and then I want you to talk about your fight with Jack della, Maddalena. But here's a cool story. A lot of fans do know, but for the ones that don't, your dad was gonna fix someone's car as a kid, and that's what he traded for payment to get you Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu lessons.
Yes.
Tell us about that, man. That's an incredible story.
Yeah, so we were freaking broke back in the days in Brazil. Broke, like.
Not anymore, huh?
Yeah, not anymore.
Let's
Thank
go,
God, not
bro.
anymore.
Because of this deal right here.
Getting my American citizenship later this year. So
Let's go, Gilbert.
Yeah. So, but yeah, we were broke, very hard times, and then one of the clients came in with the gi. We saw a kimono, a gi inside of the car, and then we started seeing, we watched it, and then we found out that was a coach, and then we were broke back then. And then my dad, instead of get the payment, he got us trained, for free for like 3 months, and then that's where we started. And then we that was the only thing that we had, so we started training pretty hard and giving our best, and eventually he let us keep training. But then we start competing and we start falling in love with jiu-jitsu. That's how I got into jiu-jitsu. But later on, Mike, I never said that, but later on we found out the coach was not going to pay, and then my dad almost fought with the guy, and then they got this deal done, but he was not going to pay. He was kind of trying to get passed by, not paying. But my dad is crazy. My dad can't fight too. So whenever he felt that my dad could fight, they work it out a deal. And my dad, at least my kid's going to start training or do something. And then that's where we start training,
Really? So it wasn't an outright deal right off the bat? It was.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
just like a little bit ago, my dad told me, the real story. And I said, I don't know. I thought that's the real story. He said, no, he was not going to pay. And then we almost get to a fight, and then when he see at my eyes that I'm really gonna fight for the money, he said, "No, let's get your kids to train."
That seems like a weird investment to make. You're like, all right, dude, homie's gonna kick my ass. I'm gonna train his kids to kick my ass too. That's funny as shit. All right, go ahead, Mike.
I bet. So, my dad, I look at my dad like he was super badass, in my opinion, even though he wasn't a trained fighter like I am, but he was a badass. And those old school guys that came up that way, I bet your dad was a
100%.
savage, bro.
Yeah. My
Anybody
daddy,
who had Gilbert
he
Burns
got a lot of
or
street
Mike
fights,
Perry.
bro. My daddy got a lot of freaking street fights for like until nowadays, you know, like sometimes dad, you gotta, you know, calm down, slow down a little bit, but he's still like someone
So
got
you-
in his nerves. He wants to fight, you know, and his hands. See, my hands are small. My hands are not so big, but his hands are like just like that, but that thick,
But
you
they
know, like
thick,
one.
though. See, your
One,
shit
yeah,
look thick,
but
though. It's a
but my
thick
dad,
normal,
bro,
right?
my dad is like that. One smack from my dad, he knock people out, you know, like
See,
he
that's
crazy,
how I
but
always. That's
yeah.
how I always looked at my dad too. But now I'm like, I'll beat his old ass. I don't care.
I'll have to
man.
stream it. If he ever asks, like, hey, Mike, can you come change my oil? You're like, if we spar for 3 rounds, like, is that going to be your payment?
So, like, did your dad do? Was there like any military? Did he grow up in Brazil? Were you born in Brazil? I don't. It's okay. You don't have to answer that. And like, you know, I know that just living somewhere like that is definitely different than
it's
anything
rough.
that I
Yeah,
had.
yeah.
I mean, even though I was born in Flint, dog.
Flint, that's yeah.
Flint is like Brazil
Rough.
of America.
Respectfully, it's like the favelas of America. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah, grow up with the neighborhood. It was bad, you know. My dad, like, he never went to military. He did a little bit of karate, a little bit of self defense. But he got into a couple brawls, like oh my god.
And he was
like
a
my dad.
mechanic, huh?
He was a mechanic, yeah. He can fight, like, yeah, in a bad neighborhood, you know. So you know, you gotta be tough.
But it's funny when you did this with your hands. You can't, like, when I do it, look at my scrawny ass fingers. It's flat. Yours are like fighting to go down that far.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, like yours stick up. You got those mechanic hands. Mike, I bet you do too.
Mike too, for sure.
Gilbert, when it comes to training jiu-jitsu and keeping your hands sharp for boxing, brawling, working the kicks, putting it all together is very hard. I'm someone who struggled in that area. I remember I had some okay kicks, but I never had incredible kicks. And I know my legs got hurt when I clashed shin to shin. I would check kicks, or I would try to check kicks and try to stand tough if it hit bone to bone, whatever. Head kicks are a problem because then it messes with your head movement. And I feel like after you grapple and you squeeze and you hold and grab onto people, and if you break and punch, I mean, practicing for it helps, but I feel like just boxing, it definitely keeps me more loose to throw harder punches rather than if I'm grappling, stuffing takedowns and stopping all these things, grabbing a hold of my opponent, I feel like my punches suffer from that. But I feel like you don't really have an issue like that. You're a great grappler and you love to throw heavy shots, punches, and speed and power at people. So, like, let me know if you know what I'm talking about and how you go about dealing with that and putting everything together.
I do. He's all about the training. First of all, training with Henry, you know, like whenever we throw a couple punches and we miss the punches, he said follow the kick. You know, that's one of the things that the system that he has. So every time if I throw 1-2, you're running, I'm not missing, I will land. I try to throw a kick right after that. So that's when the kick is always working. And the way I do, to be honest, after every fight that I have, I'll break down. I'll see a lot of mistakes that I do. I'm very critical on myself. I want to see. And I want to train on different areas. You know, I want to get my jiu-jitsu better. So I do a lot of grappling, a lot of drills on grappling, a lot of specific on grappling. Then I'm going to do a lot of boxing, just getting the movement better. Then I do a lot of kickboxing. I like to do every area differently, not all together all the time. I like to get better on the grappling, get better on my wrestling, get better on my kicks, get better on my boxing. Especially when I don't have a fight, I spar very different. I spar only boxing, I spar only kickboxing, I spar only grappling. Just try to improve, get better. And then when I know I have a fight coming, I will have a fight coming up, and then I start process putting everything together, you know. So, but individually, I try to grow a cardio and a technique on that area. And then when I do have a fight coming up, when I have things coming up, then I try to put in everything together, you know. But I think the develop of one elemental cardio itself, it helps so much. Like I start grappling till I have my cardio get better, my technique get better. I'm grappling. And then when the grappling is evolving, it's getting a lot better. Okay, now I'm going to focus a little bit more on boxing. Let me go to freaking Miami, spar with those boxers, get beat up a little bit, feel better, and eventually improve and get better, get better. Okay, now let's do a lot of kickboxing sparring. Let's get better with the kickboxing. And then I try to put everything together before I get a fight. I start sparring, get it together, put a lot of drills in. Everything that you said, I try to do all of that in the drills, you know. I try to punch, kick, get to a takedown. The guy, okay, now you're not going to get taken down. You're just going to defend it. I'm going to punch, I'm going to kick, I'm going to shoot, you defend. Okay, now I'm going to go back. I'm going to try to do everything again. So we do a lot of training on that too, to get used to that and to build that cardio, you know. I don't know if that makes sense.
Thank you
that makes
for
sense.
that
that makes
response,
sense,
bro. I know
I got
how
a question.
difficult that
Go
can
ahead.
be to put everything together.
It's hard. It's not easy, bro. Sometimes I struggle too, but I still trying to do the same thing and over again. When I'm done, I go back to the grappling. That's the easiest for me to get. Just after the fight, first thing that I do, I'm going to grapple a lot. Grapple, and then boxing, then kickboxing, then wrestling, then freaking try to put everything together again.
So the MMA community always argues, and right now the general popular consensus is that it's wrestling or sambo. What's the best base for MMA? And if it's a BJJ, why would you say that?
Sambo is freaking good because Sambo is all together, you know. Sambo is just like MMA, you know. Sambo is punching, kicking, wrestling, grappling, you know. Like Sambo is kind of MMA. It's kind of like, it's not fair to say Sambo, you know.
Kind of,
But I think for me, just because I grow up doing, I think if I can pick two things to use in an MMA fight, I think the guy has to know how to box, you know, because then he's going to learn how to put his hands, he learn a little bit of defense, he's going to learn a little bit of footwork, and he got to grapple, bro. Like, if you get a very big guy, take the guy down, choke him out. You don't need to even punch the guy, you know. I think those are the two martial arts that I think is the most important. If you know how to grapple, if you do have a good grappling, you know how to get up, you know how to submit people, the rest is not going to be an issue because you're going to wrestle a little bit with your grappling. And if you know how to box, I think you're gonna do very good. That's like if one day I do an MMA school, I become a coach, a head coach. These are gonna be the main things in my school. It's gonna be grappling and boxing.
Awesome, good answer.
I love it, Gilbert. Listen, man. Before we thank you for your time. You were very generous with your time. I want to ask you, you know, you got your fight coming up. Please tell everyone who's watching about your fight, who you're fighting, when you're fighting, and where they can watch you at. And, you know, I mean, I know where, but they might not. So please, and shout out all your people, all your sponsors, everyone supporting you, man. Just tell the people your message for them.
So March 9 here in Miami, you know, it's going to be on the pay-per-view on ESPN Plus. And it's going to be a crazy card. It's going to be good fights on there. You got MVP first fight you fought this guy. You fought MVP. This guy's tough. So MVP is going to fight in the UFC debut against Kevin Holland too on that card. Justin Poirier is fighting. And we got Sean O'Malley and Chito Vera. Is going to be a crazy one here in Miami. If you guys are in Miami, go get your tickets. Going to be at the Miami Heat Arena. It's going to be a crazy one, March 9. And shout out to all my teammates, my family, you know, all the guys that's going to be there. My sponsor, Monster Energy. We got Sanabu, Life Cycle, everybody. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for the support. And see you guys on March 9.
You got a couple of minutes to break it down? I want to hear your take on JDM. If you got some time, like, you know, I know most people ask the same types of questions. You just rant about it. Tell me whatever you're willing to say about JDM.
Yeah, he's very tough. He only lost his two first fights. You know, he started 0-2 in MMA, you know, and then after that the guy is 18-2 now, 6 wins in the UFC, a lot of knockouts, heavy boxer, tough dude, good takedown defense, good grappling. The guy's tough, you know, he's good everywhere. More as a boxer, hunting going forward. He's gonna be a good fight, you know. Like, I feel that he deserves a chance with anyone in the top 10. He's number 11 now. Like I said, 6 wins in the UFC. I think 3 or 4 knockouts. Very tough, and up that they call a guy that not gonna say no to any fights, you know. So, but in reality, I've been fighting top dogs in this division for 4 or 5 years, fighting who is who in this division. So there's gonna be a test for both of us, you know. If I still get it, if you still wanna fight for the title, and I still wanna fight for the title. And the test for this guy, see if he's ready, you know, to be here on the top of the mountain of the big dog. So should be a good one. I think he's not gonna respect me. He's gonna try to outbox me, put pressure, body shots. That's what I think he's gonna try to do. But I have the same bad intentions, you know, to go forward, put big hands on this guy, put a couple kicks, mix it up, maybe take this guy down, get it to a takedown, work for submission, ground and pound. Like I said, I think I'm one of the best in the division, and it should be a great fight against Jack della Maddalena.
You're one of the best in the world, Gilbert. Period.
100%.
You're a badass motherfucker. No disrespect. I mean that in the most American positive way possible.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
You know, I like to get savage, brother. You know, so I look forward to your fight. They're definitely some of the most exciting mixed martial arts bouts that there are. And, you know, you get me. March 9th is like the day after my daughter's birthday. And I would love to be there.
You gotta come. You gotta come now.
No, if I can.
He's thinking about it.
I would love to.
See,
but I might just watch you from the good old big screen. I'll definitely be watching. For sure, I'll be watching.
My guy.
I love to watch your fights. And,
That works.
You know, let's keep winning.
quick-
Let's keep going to the top, brother. I'm rooting for you, man.
100%.
Another quick question for both of you, though. You talked about how, you know, you'll take anybody. You don't care that he's ranked 10. You're going to go out there and prove it and make sure you still got it and see what he's got. And, you know, you're not worried about – both of you are the type of fighter that'll take those fights. You don't say no.
For sure.
What would you say about – and I'm not talking about anyone specific or anything besides yourselves, but, like, what would you say to the people – or what are your frustrations when fighters at the top won't take those types of fights, so you don't really get movement in the division?
But I will not get paid, you know, if I don't fight, you know. So at the end of the day, I want to become a champion, but I still have a family to raise, you know, 2 kids. Things are still going. I'm not going to hold on to that. If I was getting paid for that position in the ranks, if I was getting monthly pay, a check from the UFC, yes, maybe I hold on to that. But I'm not, you know, and that rank doesn't. I don't take that one serious, you know. Tops like Sean Strickland, when he became a champion, he was number 6. So that doesn't mean nothing. I think you gotta be active. You gotta keep fighting. You gotta fans gotta relate with you. Fans gotta be watching you. Oh my God, this guy's fighting again. His last fight was so excited. So that's the thing nowadays. So why I'm gonna sit down and wait for the right opportunity? Like. This life, we gotta make it happen, you know. I'm not gonna keep waiting, hoping for the big fight, the special fight. I think I gotta beat everybody and get to that title, you know.
Respect.
I respect
ahead,
that mindset for sure. I think that sometimes with things like that, it depends on the details. It can be politics involved where the right time and the right things in that, maybe they think they see something in where there could be trouble in one area. If they hold out and hold ground and they want to get to that fucking title, there might have been some times in my career in the UFC that I feel like I wasn't ready for the fight that I had and took. And if I would have held off, it would have been a cleaner get-go. But I also love what Gilbert is saying, because that's exactly what I did. I didn't give a fuck. I fought everyone and anyone that they offered to me, and I did it rapidly, I just kept fighting guys.
That's it.
And it taught me a lot.
But the fans appreciate that, right? The fans appreciate
your
that.
losses teach you a lot. And now in the fight game, I'm getting my dues. And it may not be in the UFC, But I'm fighting. I loving this bare knuckle boxing shit. I love boxing. I stand and bang and brawl and fucking throw bare knuckles. I can take it because I'm still that same guy. And I'm the king of violence.
Yes. Yes.
The king of violence, man. So I'm really happy. I mean, for everything. But I love. I know exactly what you're talking about, Mac. I love what Gilbert said, but I also feel like I respect those
smart,
guys
right?
who
Still
are
gotta
coming
be
up
smart, right?
that are 20-0 and they're fucking picking and choosing shit how they should. They got a good team around them. That's political fight game right there. That those guys later in life can be the top of the top.
Oh yeah.
So, well,
I could throw one more out there, Gilbert, that I think you'd like talking about. I've asked Mike this before as well. So your wife is really good at Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well, right? She's a champion.
Yeah.
I was just talking about my wife getting on a pay-per-view. Her little cute ass.
Against your boxing coach's wife.
We're gonna get her to box somebody. My boxing coach's wife, maybe. They'll fight. At least they got to spar and train together. And they're like, oh, my God, I couldn't do it. Fight my sister. I want to see it. Throw some punches at her face. I want to see
We're working on the Ultimate Wife show, okay? We're working on that. It's a thing. We'll figure it out. But the question is, are you going to teach your kids, are you going to push your kids to do combat sports?
No, they did it a little bit. They did it for a while. They grappled, they kickboxing, they wrestle. They did a little bit of everything, you know. They compete in jiu-jitsu, they compete in wrestling, they compete. They did a little bit of everything, but now they in love with American football, you know. They good. So right
really?
now,
Who's their team?
Now,
The Dolphins?
we go to the Dolphins. Yeah,
Let's go. Okay,
we
keep
go
going.
to the Dolphins. But the kids play. They play here in Boca Raton, Boca Braves right now. And the crazy thing is, right now the football season is off. They playing rugby, bro. Mike, you gotta watch these guys playing rugby. It's so funny,
really
bro.
cool, man. I'd like to
They
see
suplex each other. They running. They tackling. It's very nice. They like it. And then, but I think in 2 or 3 months, the rugby season is over and the football season starts, and then they're gonna go back to football. But they like football so much that, like, I still hold pads for both guys sometimes. You know, once in every 2 weeks, they ask me to hold pads. I still hold pads. They kick, they punch, they knee, they grapple with me, they grapple with his moms. But they in love with American football right now. That I'm not gonna push them to fight, make them fight, because they like it and they're very good at. So I'm just gonna, whatever they're good at, they like it. I'm gonna push it, whatever they like, for sure. Yes.
Yeah, man. I mean, my little guy, you made me think. I don't know how old yours are now. I know they're a little older.
11 and 9.
Wow.
Oh, nice.
Look at that, man. This guy has a couple of grown kids over there. Man.
Yeah.
My little 3-year-old, man, I baby him so much, and he runs outside and he falls down all the time. He scrapes his knee. Oh, he won't even cry, right? But then he'll look at his knee and see a little bit of blood, and he goes crazy. He goes crazy. And then he's like sitting in the house. Nana put his leg up on the chair, and man, your boys have been in the public eye for a while, man. I'd like to see them make it a big and a tough sport like rugby. Like, that's crazy. Americans don't play that.
They love, bro. I don't.
No, it makes sense, bro.
I don't even push, but they like it very much.
They were like, bro, that shit Dad taught us, bro. We could hip toss these fucking guys out here, bro.
They're crazy, and they fun. Like, they have so much fun beating those guys and pushing them,
slapping armbar on.
We all saw them. Sean Strickland asked them and your wife to just kind of move over. Then he jumped on Duplessis. That was a close fight too. We were talking earlier about the Moreno versus Royval decision.
Yeah.
I say, hey,
I
if
had
it's
Moreno.
that close, they can give it to anybody. I feel like they
too
could have
close.
gave it to Strickland if they wanted to. There must have been a better option for them to give it to Duplessis.
Yeah, I don't see how these judges do something.
If you're fighting for the title, you can't fight like you're not like what got you the fucking title. You trying to destroy your opponent to get to that title, and then you got it, and you're like, I better fucking jab and run around.
Hold on for dear life. But you know what? You know one thing that I think I'm gonna do one day, and I think you should do too, Mike. For real. We need to be a judge for a fight. For not a judge. I mean a referee. My bad. We should do a referee for a fight.
Like Chris Lieben. Chris Lieben's been doing it.
But I think me and Mike, we're gonna do so good. Like we're really in a fight, and those guys are there. They flinch. They don't want to fight each other. Let's go, bro. Go fight. A lot of people paying for here to watch. Hey, do something. I think we're gonna do so good at referee. Like. Not judge, not sitting down judge, but referee inside the cage with you dudes. Ready? You sure you ready? Let's go then. Let's see. Let's go. I think we're gonna have so much fun doing it, bro.
That's what you want to do, Gilbert? I like it.
I'm gonna do it.
to do that, but I don't think they'll ever trust me.
No, I'm
not gonna do for making money. You know, I think I'm gonna do other things, but I'm gonna do it as a hobby. You know, sometimes you know what? Let me see this card.
Referees.
I'm gonna apply for these for this card. I like this card.
Every weekend they're in a different country.
I don't want to do it that way. You know, I don't want to live like that, traveling so much away from the family. But I want to have the things applied for the commissions. And to be like, whenever I see a card, I say, "Oh my God!" Like,
I want you to
Yoel Romero, this guy, that guy. Oh, I meet you. It'll be so much fun.
One of my fights.
But I'm gonna be talking so much. I'm gonna even tell yo, if you guys don't fight, I'm gonna be on your guys. Hey, let's go, Mike. What are you doing? Don't rest right now. Let's go. I need action.
I don't think you're gonna have that issue with me, bro. Just sit back and watch.
But the sport could use that in general, man. You get some
I want to do.
Fighters
I'm telling you that I'm gonna do that. Like I said, it's not gonna be my main job, but here and there I'm gonna look at one card and say, "Oh my God, Poitin against Jamal Hill." Yeah, I will judge that fight. Max Holloway and Justin Gage. Yes, I'm gonna be a referee for that one.
Huh?
You know, a couple fights that are like, yes, I want to ref. I want to be a ref for these fights. Who you got
in those two fights that you just brought up? Who you got?
I got Poitin. You know, I got Poitin. You ever train with him?
He kicked me in the leg, bro.
You ever trained with him?
30 times, bro. With the
you never trained with him, Mike?
No, but he's trained with my people. But it's not that I've never trained with Jamal either. But me and Jamal are both from Michigan.
Jamal's my guy too, but I gotta go with Poitin,
I think it's an incredible fight.
I think so too. I'm not saying
it's gonna be great.
I think it's gonna be a great fight.
Yeah.
And just engaging Max Holloway is gonna be a crazy fight.
I respect Poitin. He fights everyone. He's posting videos, sparring anybody and everybody every week. He's like just hitting mitts every day and just boxes every day. But I think
you think Jamal Hill wins?
I'm
kind of leaning Jamal.
So what about? I think Justin Gaethje is gonna beat Max.
Yeah, I don't like that fight so much because I like both guys a lot. But I will be a referee for that fight for real, like for real.
We gotta do that. That's really where the sport should go. Fighters should be refs.
You've been in it. Yeah, you know the referee, the black dude, the small dude that he boxes and he keep with the big eye looking like that.
Yes, dude, that's the best one.
This dude. Yeah, I'm gonna be this guy ref, but I'm gonna talk. Hey, let's go, bro. What are you doing? Let's go. I'm gonna be a mixing of these ref and Bert. Remember Bert?
Bert, yes. The one who used to pump everyone up backstage.
Yeah, and I'll be like this guy and Bert. Let's go, Bert. Let's go. Don't let him the judge's hand. Let's go. Fight. Let's go.
Chama, puta que pariu. Throw some punches, bro.
I mean, when you travel, you're at a lot of UFC fights watching now, and when you're not fighting, and then you fight. Yeah. I mean, when you fight, do you bring the whole family with you? They all come? Is your wife in the corner? And then when you go to these fights, you always bring your family with you. They're always traveling with you. Yeah. I know that's a little bit of extra work, but you know,
for sure, a lot of work. a lot of work. But I want them to see too, you know, because it's a lot of nice place that I have. Like I don't bring them to like any crazy fights, but whenever I have a friend of mine fighting, like they went to Pantoja's fight, they went to Lucas' fight, they went to a couple guys from the gym when they fought, and then I gotta go, I got a corner, I gotta do something. They come. It's hard to bring every single time because especially when they in season with rugby or football. But for my fights, they going. But whenever we have a free time, like International Fight Week is the one that they like to go a lot because they in summer in school, so they don't have school, so they go. And whenever I have a little time, I like to bring, if I cannot bring the whole family, I like to bring at least one of the kids with me, you know, so they see, they have the whole experience. They play UFC too, they know all the fighters, they watch all the fights, so they have fun too. And then I don't like to go by myself too, you know, sometimes I just like to stay with the family a lot, you know, so I stay grounded, you know, so I'm good, you know.
Good, man. You're a humble warrior, brother.
Yeah.
I know how
So I asked Twitter earlier if they had any good questions for you, and a lot of them, if I could consolidate them so I don't have to run down them super quick, but if I could consolidate them into one, essentially, you know, a bunch of stuff like who hits the hardest, how good is Hamzat, you know, how good's Belal. I could ask you just like this. If you remove yourself, you're not in the welterweight division, who is the biggest threat, in your opinion, to Leon Edwards? If you don't count,
I think Rachmanov, Shavkat. I think Shavkat is a threat. Shavkat is a threat. Yeah, Rachmanov. Yeah, the guy's a beast. We trained together many times. The guy's tough, bro. Like the. I have a lot of great training partners. You know, so many. Like Luke is a good one. Like tough everywhere. He just like he's part just to the way he fights, you know. We have so many fights already. And you fought Luke, you know, this
Luke
freaking guy's
one of the
tough,
best
you know.
strikers in the world, man. He's a great kickboxer.
High level, bro. So Luke, Jason Jackson, Rachmanov, and I got a couple other guys, André Fialho, Angelo Lusa, Logan Storley. I got so many high level guys in the gym that I think everyone that is in my division, I think Jason Jackson will beat Leon Edwards. You know, Jason is that good. I think Rachmanov can. I think Luke can too. But right now, freaking Jason Jackson, bro.
I mean, that's
Really
a smart fight you're talking about. Jason Jackson stays at range. He point fights. He kicks and punches hard.
He can grapple, bro. This guy can wrestle. Oh my God,
He
got
stays
better
out of
wrestling,
scrambles, and Leon fights the same way. Slow
Jason's
motion.
so
Jason
good.
seems to be a little faster.
Jason's fast, bro. Both
And
hands.
he took a
Now
long
he can kick.
route to get to where he is.
Very long. He broke his hand on the Ultimate Fighter. He broke his ankle in the Dana White Contender Series. Then he ended up going to Bellator. Then at Bellator, bro, he beat that guy, but they gave to the guy.
Patchy?
What's the guy's name? Oh, wrestler. I have his name right here. High level wrestler. That was his last. No, that was his last loss. Ed Roof. They gave to this guy that was a little bit way back, and then after that, bro, that guy changed, bro. With that loss, you know, those losses that changed you, that guy became a freaking monster. And then he was on the road. He's beating everybody. We just put a photo in the group chat from the gym with his win streak. I got right here, bro. His win streak is crazy.
And the way he handled Cooper was crazy.
Bro,
I mean,
his win streak, it's
1, 2,
look,
3,
look.
4, 5,
You know
6,
all
7,
these
8,
names,
9,
but you know all these names right here. Look, the first guy he lost at Roof, but he won, and then he got this Russian dude, and then he got Jordan May that was in the UFC, Ben Henderson, Neiman Gracie, Paul Daly, Douglas Lima, and Amosov, that guy that was the champion. Now he beat Ray Cooper. These guys are freaking monster, bro.
He made that look easy. Yeah.
Shout out to Jason Jackson, man, doing his thing over there. PFL.
One last little quick one. You said Shavkat. That's interesting because JDM was talking before this fight saying like he would take on Shavkat. So I don't know if he was saying he's looking past you or anything, but what do you think about that?
No, I like it. You know, you need to have goals, right? You need to have dreams. This guy, his goal is to beat me and beat Hakhmanov, and then he's gonna fight for the title. That's his goal, and then I got nothing wrong with these. He has his goals. I have my goals, and we'll see. We're gonna put on a test which goals is going forward after the March 9. I think it's gonna be I believe it's gonna be I think it could do. I have everything to beat this guy, but I got nothing wrong. And I kind of see a little video. He was very respectful. He say, I'm not passing through Gilbert, but my dream fight will be beat Gilbert and then fight Shavkat. But it's his goal. I like when a man has his goal clear, and it works towards that. So it is what it is.
I respect that. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I like where it's going. Shout out to Gilbert Burns, man. We're going to watch him throw down in the UFC March 9th. Very excited for this matchup, man. Thank you so much, Gilbert, for your time, my brother. It was great to talk with you. Good to see you again. And I'll see you again soon, probably, man. You got to come to maybe one of the bare knuckle fights or something.
If I'm not going, whenever I'm in Orlando, I'll hit you up, my guy.
All right, my brother. Thank you, brother. Have a good
Take it
night.
easy, my guys.
Shout out to Gilbert Burns coming on. Shout out to Mac Malley. Shout out to that guy that we fired, Ice Bag.
He played himself, man.
And look at Brian Garcia trying to fight Sean O'Malley, dog.
Right,
man.
bro.
In the octagon?
Dude, boxers, they fucking...
How do you spend $40 million?
Easy. Go fucking Instagram crazy, bro. Go buy some shit that looks...
Play poker? I couldn't lose. Bro, I lost $5,000 betting on fights and NFL and basketball. And I won a couple. I lost a few. And I'm done for the year.
Yes.
I'm done. No,
See,
I'm going to try some more bets, but I don't think so, man. It just doesn't seem winnable to me.
To me, I just don't. I literally forget to bet. I don't even. It's not a big thing to me. And if anything, I know for baseball, all that shit, dude. I enjoy watching it. It's
not rare. Fucking Anthony Pettis gambles in Las Vegas, wins $500,000 all the time.
No, I mean, it's rare to just watch the sport.
Literally pays his bills. This motherfucker bets every day on tennis at 4 a.m.
No, I'm saying it's rare for
Chinese ping pong.
Yeah, I'm saying it's rare.
Winning, dude.
But it's rare for someone to just watch a sport and not bet, and that's what I do. I don't even think about betting. Yeah, if anything, it's like $20 or something. Because I'm like you, Mike. I'm not. So here's a funny story.
Parlays, bro. People have won $500,000 on $5 parlays.
I won $10K one time on like a
$20
bet.
In incredible fashion.
That's what I'll do. But Mike, peep this. Here's a story from this weekend. And if we have to cut this, we could run it by Josh. But I don't think he'll care. When we were sitting there right before the Brian Ortega fight, one of his homies, he rolls with the high rollers and shit like that. But I said, Brian Ortega, I got Brian. Everyone else in the room had Yair. And I was like, dude, Brian's chances.
Oh, I'm going to have to ask Icebags about this one.
Ask him. And so I go, bro, it's way more likely Brian's, secures a takedown and chokes him out than it is Yair knocking him out. His only TKO ever was from Max Holloway, like we were talking about earlier, on the stool after the 4th round. And then the shoulder dislocation in the first Yair fight. So I was like, he doesn't get knocked out well. He's got the dog in him, and his ground game is probably the best at 145. So then he goes, dude, don't say that too loud because my homie right there has got 30K on Ortega or on Yair. And the whole time as it was happening, I was like, oh, look, he's got his back against the cage.
Somebody
he's going to drag that leg.
That?
No, lost
50
it.
50 cents?
Lost. What?
50 cents for 130 grand?
Who did he?
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, what a parlay.
Dude, that's the golden ticket. That's what I go for, if anything.
That's incredible.
I mean, I've seen ones like this before. I wonder what there should be an app you could track back. Like, what would I have gotten when I got the whole 198? Coke, zero sugar? No, that's literally like a prop bet. Like, what's he drinking?
$13.49 for $1 million.
This is what we got to focus on when we do Overdogs Bet, dude. Just crazy parlays. That's my favorite thing to do.
The greatest parlays of all time? That's insane, bro. Dude,
one time, Mike, I had a parlay. It's the biggest one I ever won. It was like $10. and it was the last leg on the card was Derek Lewis. And I had like 9 legs right already, bro. I was like, oh my God. Then Derek Lewis got dominated by Volkov for 3 rounds. And I went, oh, fuck. And then what happened with 10 seconds left? He knocked him out. I won like, I think 7,000 off like a $20 bet. I got the whole card. Yeah, I did. That's back when I was poor as fuck. Yeah. And I was like, dude, I lost that fucking parlay. God damn it, Derek, swing. And then he knocked him out with 10 seconds left. That was the infamous my balls was hot. There you go.
I was there. I was there live watching that fight underneath the stadium on TV. I was there live in the building, though, and I was going crazy for Derek Lewis when he fucking dropped his ass, dude.
Dude, I fucking love it. What's okay? Let's end it with this. I mean, we don't have to end it, but let's end it with this. Mike,
on, bro.
What's your biggest parlay or bet you ever hit? Mine would be that one with Derek Lewis parlay, and my biggest just straight bet was Holly to beat Ronda at 20-1. I think right when it opened. Go ahead. What's yours?
Buying houses is like a gamble sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a couple of houses that I sold later that made some money. Recently, as far as a bet that I placed, Bitcoin. I was gonna say Bitcoin was like a gamble that kind of worked out for me. Like I had some money in it, and it doesn't really. Man, that thing shot up and down and up again. So that was like a gamble I'm doing good on. And I think I parlayed like some basketball and football, and I won like $600 or $700 when I landed in Las Vegas. Like as I landed, bro, my phone came on and was like, "You win." I was like, "Ah!"
Dude, I thought it was funny when you sent your bet slip the other day. I was like, "Oh shit, Mike's like me." I was like, dude, Mike's got money, but you're like me. I don't care how rich I am.
I'm practicing. $20, look, $20 parlay, $13, you can win $1 million.
Yeah, I like taking long shots.
Put the parlays together correctly, and oh my God, it's incredible.
Shout out to my boy Ian Parker on the PFL versus Bellator card. He got 9 out of like 10. And it wasn't just straight winners.
We don't talk about losses, brother. He lost that parlay. Lost that parlay.
It wasn't
I don't
a parlay.
care if
They were all just different bets. But he got. If it would have been a parlay, that would have been one of those. That would have been like 10 for like incredible. $1 million because he hit round and everything or like all that shit.
Shout out to Overdogs Bet. Head over to Overdogs Bet / I forget
Overdogs
the
Bet.
Overdogs Bet. Overdogs.bet. Shout out to Overdogs.bet. Go sign up. Overdogs.bet for free play. Sign up and start betting. Start winning. Ice bags. We fired him from this one, so go gamble. And he's gonna have to pay you all your winnings, cause that's what we're working on over here. So. Yeah. Shout out to them. Shout out to Kim Pie Pandas, man.
Let's go. Well, there you have it, boys. Episode 24, 25, whatever it is. Doesn't matter. This is the Gilbert Burns episode with Mike Perry. And I was present the whole time as well. So, I mean, follow both of them on social media. Follow Kim Pie Pandas, Overdogs.
Mac Malley's Twitter is popping.
It's doing okay. I'm hanging in there.
He's always posting some silly shit.
I'm a silly Billy, bro.
Funny ass memes. Some of them are good, man. Good for you.
All right, guys. With that said, Mike Perry, brother, we killed it. Ice bags, we miss you, bro. I hope you get unemployment. Go file for that real quick, and we'll catch you guys on the next episode.
This podcast episode was brought to you by Overdogs Bet. Sign up today for early beta access and free play at overdogsbet.com/beta.